For a moment he might go out, then again. But here we see in this sloka today, Kapila Muni is offering, Kardama Muni is offering prayers to Kapila. But he is offering in awe and reverence. So actually, Kardama, he was not able to enjoy that Vatsalya Rasa. He was not able to enjoy the fourth rasa of parental relationship. For very long. He was more in the mood here of awe and reverence and respect. Maybe for some more time, Devahuti, she was in a motherly mood. But at the end, she also surrendered to Kapila Muni and told him that you have now, when her husband took renounced order, the Vedic system is that women should always be protected. This is different from the Western system where everybody is on their own. Vedic culture is that women are to be respected and to be protected in society. When they're unmarried, the parents protect them, the father or other guardians. When they're married, then the husband is to protect them. And when they're in when the husband is old, he can take he can take sannyas, and the older son maintains and protects the mother. And this way, whether by father, by husband, or by elder son, then the mother, the lady, is always protected. This is Vedic culture. So Kardama Muni, once he gave a son to Devahuti and the son was grown, then he put the mother, his wife, under the care of Kapila, and he left. The Devahuti, she realized that Kapila was the Lord. So this whole section of Bhagavatam is a very deep discussion between Kapila Muni and Devahuti. Devahuti is asking questions and Kapila is giving the answers. So, although Kapila Muni came as a son, but Kardama Muni was not bewildered. He knew that he is the Lord of all the universes. He is in charge of the three modes of material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Sambhavami Juge Juge, that I come from in every yuga. He mentions I come out of my Atma Mayaya, out of my own internal potency. So the Lord is coming not the same way we come. We come in the world because of laws of karma. We are born, we stay some time, we get old, we produce some offsprings, we go through some changes, we get old, then we die, we take rebirth again. So according to the laws of karma, we are given a different body. Maybe one time we're born in heaven, next time we're born in hell. Sometime we're rich, sometime we're poor, sometime we're Brahmana, sometime we're Sudra, sometime we're animals, sometime we're human. According to the stringent laws of material nature, we have to take different births. Sometime we're born in a man's body, sometime we're born in a woman's body. In this way we rotate around the universe. So externally we always consider whatever this body we have to be the only reality. Whatever we can see with our senses to be the reality. But human beings have got advanced intelligence that through the eyes of the scripture they can see beyond the immediate gross manifestation. They can see the causes behind the manifestation. Just like for an uneducated person, they may see that, or just say that for a scientist he'll see things maybe in one way than what we'll see things. Then, or what another person says, here's a wall. A scientist may think, or an engineer may think this is such and such plaster, and this is a RCC structure. Or a chemist may think, well, this is a gypsum board having a chemical composition of lime and other things. Some physicists may consider these are all various states of elements and atomic principle, and think of all the quantum particles moving around inside all the atoms in the wall. Depending whatever vision, one can have a vision and see one thing and see different things. Someone may see a tree and think this is a nice tree, and a botanist may think this is he'll know the Latin name and the gender and the whole tree family and everything. So, knowledge gives us a different vision of reality. So spiritual knowledge gives us the actual in-depth vision of what is reality. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam are given to us so that we can see what is life. If we just see the superficial aspect, that is only one of the levels of vision. It's not the ultimate understanding. You see, for instance, once there was a very great king called Suyagnya, the king of Usina kingdom. He was a very great warrior. He had become victorious in many battles. He had expanded his kingdom. He was very good to his citizens. There was a proper legal system. He controlled the ministers so they wouldn't steal from the citizens. There would not be undue taxation. He was a very proper monarch in the old system. But he was being attacked by some enemies. And he went into the battlefield and he fought very courageously. But although he was very determined, although he was a very fierce fighter, he was very brave, he was killed in the battle. But he was never a coward at any moment. In fact, although he was fatally injured, he just bit his lip in determination and fought to the last. And finally the king's body was there on the battlefield dead. So all the other generals and brave warriors, they came and paid respect to the fallen warrior. And they saw his brave features and his determination. When his wife's queens heard that he was killed, they came out on the battlefield and they were crying. Their hair was undone, they broke their ornaments, and they were just hysterical, crying. They say, how could this happen? How is providence so cruel? How is the fortune so unfair? Here is a brave king. He was ruling his citizens so nicely. How are they going to survive without such a good ruler? How are they going to tolerate the suffering? And we, his queens, how can we live without him? And they're remembering all his good qualities, his kindness to them, his so many good qualities, and they are saying that how could he leave us like this? We're here all alone. And they're surrounded him, and the other relatives wanted to take the body to do before the sunset, to burn the body according to Vedic ritual. But the queen surrounded and they are crying and they won't let anyone go near. So finally the sun is getting close to setting, and even Yamaraj could hear the crying of these queens. So then Yamaraj took the form of a young boy. People like to hear spiritual and philosophical things from young children. It's very attractive. Because normally children don't speak such things. They're normally the more frivolous. So if they speak something very philosophical, it's very enchanting to the elderly people. So he came as a young boy, and then there he saw all the queens are crying, and he started to speak out loud. What is this? I thought the older people were more intelligent than this. Now I find that they're just like we children. Very foolish. How is it that these, queens and such intelligent elders are acting so childishly? I am very surprised. I have seen my mother and father, they also have died. My grandfather has died, great-grandfather, all died. Everyone in this world is born, and eventually they're going to have to die. So here, but I see these people are lamenting like anything, surprised that death has come. But don't they know that everyone has to die? So why are they just making so much of a commotion and not facing the reality? Nature of this world is like that. So then he gave a story. He said, just like there's a story that there was a hunter and he was trying to catch two birds. Cockatoos or something, some kind of bird is there. I forget the name. He was trying to catch a bird, so he would put up nets and traps in the forest. So there was two birds that were very happy, husband and wife bird with many children, and the wife bird got caught in the trap of the hunter. And she was calling out, and she was caught like this. So the husband, he was really, the husband bird, he was very frustrated. He said, what happened? How cruel is the laws of nature. Here is my good wife. Now I have so many little baby chicks, baby birds. They don't know how to fly yet. Who take care of them? Now the mother is caught. And she's such a good wife. How can I live without her? What is the use of flying around if I don't have my wife with me? And so he just stayed there by the wife, lamenting and saying all the things that what is the use? She's caught by this hunter. What a horrible thing. Why God is so cruel to have this happen? So while he's lamenting, then the hunter is sneaking. He sees, and with his arrow, he shoots the arrow, kills the other bird. Kills the husband bird. So both are finished. So Yamaraj is a child, he told all the queens, so you're all sitting here crying. You're lamenting that your husband is gone, but that person that you've known, he is there. The only person you've been able to see your whole life is the body. So body is still there. Same helmet, same face, same arms, same torso, same legs. So you can speak to him. Why you're all crying? The actual person has gone. That's why you're crying. You never saw the actual person. You're only seeing his shell. Just like somebody sees a house, they may say, oh, there is the Prime Minister's house. So they may say, oh, that's Prime Minister. Not the Prime Minister, it's his house. When they see the house, they say like that. So you're seeing this body and you're saying, here's the king. You never saw the actual Atma. Now the Atma has gone on. You can sit here crying till all day and night for the rest of your life. They never bring back the Atma. Atma is gone. So instead of wasting your time in this way, you should take necessary steps to save yourselves. To see what is the dangers in life and to actually take precaution. Now allow the final rites to your husband to be done, and you all prepare yourself for solve these problems in life. Don't make the same mistake like the bird who was shot by the hunter. Just lamenting won't solve anything. So in the Vedic culture, actually, lamentation is, of course, everyone will feel sadness at the loss of a near and dear one. But with spiritual knowledge, we know that a person is not dead. Person never finishes. Soul always is living on. So Vedic culture, even after the deceased, even after the death of a relative, we do sraddh, we do pinda, we do many ceremonies for that departed soul, knowing the soul is living on. That the body is no longer functioning, but the soul is continuing to live. And this body, in another body, in some other place. So we take precaution to help the soul. Putra and Putri in Hindi or Sanskrit are names of the children, because Pu means hell and Tra means to deliver. So the man who can deliver his parents from hell is called Putra, or the daughter who can deliver her parents from hell is Putri. So how we can deliver our parents from hellish condition? If we become properly situated in devotional service, if we are doing yajnas, if we are doing spiritual activities, that benefit will also go to the forefathers. That will go to the children. And after they depart, we can also offer various pujas for the welfare of their soul. So in this way, there's a blessing of the Lord given by having good children. So in Vedic culture, that was the first thing that the parents wanted to train their children to be proper religious children, so that after they die, the children will do all these spiritual rites. Nowadays, people are not concerned. They want to see children get PhD, MA, MSc. Then when the parents die, they say, what is all this hogwash? We don't believe in all these things. There's only chemicals there or something. So then they don't do all those rites because they never saw that whether the children are trained in spiritual life. It's alright to have MA, PhD and all these things, but there should also be spiritual education side by side. That's the point. The Ishopanishad says side by side one should know the material world and should know the spiritual world. So that's why Prabhupada, he was saying in India, we are just imitating the West, but we have to be very careful to preserve our own culture. And we take the good things from the West and preserve the good things of India. In this way, we can have a perfect situation. But we shouldn't give up the essential features of our own culture, of the Vedic culture. That will be because it's not that the West has got a perfect system. They got good technology, some good economic formulas, which are also mentioned in the Vedas as far as economic formulas. There's nothing new. But spiritually, they are not. They don't have a vision. They don't know where the world is heading. They don't know what the world situation should be. That's why we're facing so many ecological problems now. They want to have summit because so many imbalances, because they don't know what is the proper way to lead humanity, where humanity should, what is the ideal situation. Now, ecological balance is automatically there in the Vedic culture. Anyway, that's another big topic. So here we're discussing about Kapila Muni, Kardama Muni. So Kardama Muni knew that who Kapila was. He was not an ordinary child. We should know that who we are. That we are actually the Atma. We're living in a body. Whether someone has a female body or male body, they have to act externally according to the body they have. Naturally, they'll identify with that body. But spiritually, they can see beyond that and see they have a higher identity also. That is, they're the servant of the Lord. So whatever situation we're in, we should use our life for pleasing the Lord. That is a specialty of human life. Animals are eating, humans are eating, animals are sleeping, humans are sleeping, animals are creating babies, humans are creating babies, animals are fighting, humans are fighting. That way there's not a big difference. Only humans are doing it in a more complex way. In fact, the animals, they are more regulated by nature. For instance, a cow or any animal, they have a certain cycle when they feel some desire for sex. Once in a month, a cow feels for 2 days some sexual agitation. Only at that time will she be calling for the bull. But human beings, they are not so regulated. They are always very lusty. So they have many desires all of the time. It's not by nature's way, animals are automatically regulated. Of course, there are some very lusty animals also, like monkeys and pigeons. They always are having sex. But apart from that, most of the animals, they are very regulated. Even the tigers and lions, they are only having the sexual desire in certain times. The human beings, we got so much active senses. We can eat any time. We saw in Orient some people, they are eating 5 times, 6 times, 7 times a day. They're always eating. You see in the West, people are very much focused on sex life. This is the main preoccupation that's very visible. So different agitations are there for the senses. And they are pulling the senses all the time. So what is human life meant for? That we have to, since we are not regulated by nature, we have to regulate ourselves by intelligence. So by natural intelligence, we bring the senses under control, and through yoga, through bhakti yoga, we can engage the senses in proper spiritualized activities and regulate them. And this way, we can become peaceful. Otherwise, you see that why animals look more peaceful sometimes than modern man. But human being is meant to be the supreme peaceful entity, much more than animals. So that is only possible when the human being controls themselves according to spiritual systems given by Krishna. You see. But we become, in material life, we become very attached, so we don't want to, we think, I can't let go of anything. If I let go of anything, then maybe I'll suffer. There's a story how once there was a man, he was very tired. He was very hungry, he hadn't eaten for a long time. And he came by the side of the Ganges, there was one temple. And he just leaned against the column of the temple. And he was very hungry. And one rich man, he came and he was doing puja in the temple. And he saw, I want to give some charity for feeding some, in the name of the deity, I want to feed some hungry person. And he saw that here's this man, he said, here, I want to give you this food. So you just, please accept this. So the man said, okay, you give me the food. So he's leaning on the column. And he puts his hand around the two sides of the column and said, "You give me the food." The man said, "You come out from the column and take it." He said, "No, I'm too tired. You just put it here. I can't let go." So the man put a big bunch of puff rice in his hand, koi, the fused rice. And the man is there, and he's holding the column with the fused rice. So then he's looking. He wants to eat the fused rice, but he tries to reach it. He can't reach. He wants to let go, but if he lets go, then all the puff rice will fall down. So he's in a real fix. He can't let go, he can't eat. This is a situation in material life. We don't want to, we're afraid, oh, if I let go of something, then I'm going to lose out. At the same time, we're also not able to enjoy. We're not fully satisfied. We're not fully getting that happiness that we're hankering for. Same time, whatever we have, we don't want to let go. So neither we can enjoy, neither we can let go. So in this way, we are in a real fix. So that's why all the Shastras tell us we should cut through this Maya and regulate ourselves, engage in devotional service. Everything is possible by the Lord's mercy. Actually, the Jamaraj also gave instruction to those queens that look at it, if somebody loses something on the street, sometimes he may go back and even after a few hours he finds this thing is still lying there. But if the Lord desires, He can get back even a lost thing, you lose it on the street. But if the Lord protection is not there, even you may have a big fortress with treasure house, bank, still people are somehow figuring how to rob the banks. How to steal from the house, the secret place. May not be safe. So without the Lord's mercy, one cannot be secure. If we just think, I'll make a very good arrangement and that will protect me, it won't, that's no protection. Death is going to come in due course of time, dangers may be there. The only way we can cross over these dangers is by the mercy of the Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains, if we take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, this will cross us over all the dangers of life. Samasita je padapallava plavang mahat padang punyayaso morare bhavang buddhi vatsa padang 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 yad vipadamanatesam. The lotus feet of Krishna, worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna in his human form of life, they are like the boat to take us over the ocean of birth and death. And this bhavam buddhi, the ocean, we can easily cross over. It becomes, but someone may say, well, if I cross over, what about my wife? What about my husband? What about my children? What about everyone else? They'll be left on the other side. So the rishis are saying, no, vatsapadam. It becomes, the ocean becomes reduced in size. Problem is there, but it becomes so small you can just step over it. So the boat remains on this side, no problem. Others can also cross over. Padang padang, to the supreme destination. In Vaikuntha there's no death, no old age, no suffering. There one can serve the Lord in the 5 rasas without any obstacles. But if someone doesn't want to take shelter of the Lord, they think, let me depend on my own physical abilities, my own intelligence, my own mind, my own society, my friends, my family, everyone will protect. Just like in the night, the children are very afraid. They want someone to be there, a little night light. Alone they feel frightened sometimes. You see. So like that. But then if someone is there, they feel, now I'm safe. But even if we are there, say if some disease is there, what can we do? We go to the doctor, we go here, we go there, we try to cure the children of some disease. Sometimes we cannot, no one can give the cure. Ultimately, even the doctors say that they all are limited in their abilities. Ultimately, at the final point, they say it's up to the Lord. Those who are religious. So, we try our best in life, but we should never forget the actual relationship with the Lord, and that is the main thing. Not that we don't do anything until the Lord will take care. That's also not proper. Just as said, the Lord helps those who help themselves. Actually, in Vedic culture, what that means, we should do our duty, but depend on the Lord for the result. Svai svai karmyan yavirate samsiddhing labhyate param. We should do our own duty as given by Guru, by Krishna, by Shastra. But actually, we do that in how? In such a way that we are depending on the Lord. He is ultimately karma data. He's the one who gives us the karma fruits. We have the right to the work. Ma phaleshu kadachana. The fruits are His. The work is ours. But we want the fruit. No work, all fruit, yes. So we have it backwards, you see. Actually, we have to do our duty. Everyone in the world has to work. But we offer the fruit to the Lord. And this way, there's no karma. We are freed from the reactions. The Lord, offering the fruit to the Lord means that we enjoy according to the scriptural injunction. We have to eat, so we offer the food to Krishna. You see, people, it's natural, they feel the need to have family, to be married, so they should do so in a proper Vedic way. Have regulated family life, create a Krishna conscious atmosphere in the family, worship Krishna in the house, do sacrifice, do samskaras and yajnams, associate with devotees, read Gita and Bhagavat. The best yajna in Kali Yuga is Nama, Sankirtanam. We cannot do all these difficult yajnas now, but this Nama yajna is especially recommended in Kali Yuga. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalova Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. Katiranyatha. So this is a recommended process. Whether young, old, man or woman, everyone, they can easily perform this process. This meditation performed by Kardama Muni was very difficult meditation. Who can do such meditation today? But we can also get the blessing of the Lord now by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by performing Sankirtanam Yajna. So in every yuga, the Lord comes down in order to give the yuga dharma. So the Lord came in this age of Kali to give us the yuga dharma, to give us this process of chanting the holy names. And this is recommended in all the Vedas. Even the Mayavadis, they also accept. I was just reading one book by one centennial celebration souvenir by Shivananda. This the Divine Life Society founder. He's of course, they are basically yogis and Mayavadis. They are the Nirvishesh Vadis. They are worshipping the impersonal Brahman. And we are worshipping Vishnu. But even there I found that there was a quote by him, and he mentions that in this day and age, nobody has the patience to do the Hatha Yoga, nor the ability, nor can they do all the processes of Sankhya or Raja Yoga, and he lists all the various kinds of people cannot do it. In this age, the Sankirtanam is the best process of self-realization. This is the best process which everyone can do. So even he, gave full endorsement. But unfortunately, you see, to do the Sankirtan Yajna, this very verse here, that Kapilam Prapadye, I surrender to Kapila, I surrender Actually, to do Sankirtanam, you're giving your mind, you're giving your heart, you're giving your words, you're giving everything. That surrendered mood comes. To do the Sankirtanam fully, that feeling of surrender will come. And see, many people, they have the ahankara, they don't want to surrender. So for them to do Hatha Yoga or do some other superficial thing is more pleasing, because they are not surrendering. They are maintaining the ego separately from the Lord's. But to do the Sankirtanam properly is not physically difficult, mentally. The only difficulty is our ego, whether we are willing to take the Lord's shelter. Otherwise there's no difficulty at all. Only difficulty is our own false ego. But will I surrender to Krishna and follow this process? Or do I want to artificially keep myself independent? So even these Nirvisheshvadis, they all know that this process of Sankirtanam is the best process. And they are also recommending. They say, why they don't practice it fully? They do something, but not very completely. Because unless you actually get the process of Sankirtanam from the devotees, even though you know it's the best process, you won't get that taste. Why the devotees of Krishna conscious movement are feeling so much enlivenment to chant Hare Krishna? All over the world they are chanting, whether Russia or China, whether America, South America, Europe or Africa, Australia, Asia. Everywhere they are chanting and getting a lot of bliss. Because we are getting this mantra from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from Srila Prabhupada, from the disciplic succession. If we get the mantra in the proper disciplic succession, then naturally that mantra will take full effect. Padma Purana says if you don't receive the mantra in the bona fide disciplic succession, the mantra is nisfalataha. It doesn't produce the fruit that we want. So if you get the mantra from the proper source, then naturally that will give the effect. That's why it's having effect in the Krishna conscious movement. And although so many other groups are there, they all know that this process is very good. But they are not able to fully stick to only this process. Why they are taking difficult process? Because they have to receive it from the proper succession, from the Guru properly, and practice it according to the proper devotional attitudes and processes. So, you're all very fortunate because you come in contact with the Krishna conscious movement, which is a bona fide member of the disciplic succession coming from Lord Krishna, through Lord Brahma, through Madhvacharya, and through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Saraswat and Bhaktivedanta successions. So in this way you're able to get very easily the nectar of this chanting. So we hope that you can use your human life in the most effective way. Here you're solving your economic necessities, working in the Gulf. Simultaneously you can solve your spiritual requirements by chanting Hare Krishna, which is not at all difficult to do. It's very easy to do in your home, or gather together here in the home of friends. And this way you can chant Hare Krishna, and we hope that through this way, we know that you'll be happy if you chant. So chant and be happy. Hare Krishna. Any questions?